Last time on the Side Story Special. The players all met one another at the Shell's Enlightenment, a tavern located in the port town of Dolren. Everyone had their own reasons for being there at that particular time. Des was working for the tavern owner, Konmei, while she was a traveling merchant that was selling goods to Konmei. And Captain Rainy was supposedly meeting a friend. Benno and Pio were also here to rest while on their travels. However, it wasn't long until Dolren was attacked by the soldiers of Koldar, which forced everyone to retreat before getting caught. After battling the group of Koldarians, the party was finally able to escape Dolren by sea, thanks to the help of an orc by the name of Tarako. The players now set sail towards the Iwatsuni Isles in hopes of escaping the dangers of the Koldarians.
Side Story Special, Misadventures Ahoy, Part 2. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Taverns and Caverns Side Stories, everyone. And this is your Dungeon Master, HaphazardDM, and we have a fun returning cast with us today. It is going to be another episode following the great Mouse VTuber, Desporous, and the great Fox VTuber, Rainy and crew. We also have Sliv, Naku, and Pecan. Yes, that is right. We are going to be continuing where we left off on our crazy wild adventure with this crew and how they escaped the Koldarians in the nation of Aloria. They're currently in the middle of the sea on a ship, and Rainy's character, I'm sorry, not Rainy, Dez's character just threw a spoon of soup at Benno, who is Naku's character, straight in the face, and we've had some wild things happening, but we're going to pick up right where we left off. And if we remember, right at the end of the last episode for this side story, there was a yell from up above in the ship. One of the orcish fishermen that's part of the crew in the ship yelled for everyone to come up above because they were under attack by something or someone. We don't know just yet, but that's exactly where we're going to pick off. And really quick, my players are having this weird chat in Roll20, and it's cracking me up. I don't know. So everyone, you have your characters up on the ship now on the new map. And when the party all rushes up above, you can see the orc that yelled for all of you. He is steering the boat at the wheel, and he is looking worried. He's sweating, and he is frightened. I'm not going to make anyone make perception checks because you all see this in the middle of the day. It's still daytime, so you do see what's on the boat. All over the boat, on the sides of it, you can see these claw-like fish hands clawing at the side of the boat, crawling onto it. And what you see are these medium-sized creatures that look like sea people. They're like sea fish people. They're called Sahagwins in the world of D&D, or in the world of Reverie. They're called Sahagwins. They're basically a race of monsters that live in the ocean and will attack travelers from time to time for whatever reasons. So you all see there are several of them.
Can I adopt one?
I mean, you can try. They're not friendly. Sahagwins are pretty evil. Now, in the world of Reverie, I'm going to say Sahagwins are very common. So your characters all have a general idea of what these creatures are. They're widely known, and you all already know that they're probably going to be evil in some way and attempt to either kill you or take whatever loot you might have on the ship. So they're basically pillaging the ship, and who knows if they're going to want to kill you or not. But you all have an idea that they're not there to become friends. They all have these spears in hands, and they have claws sharp enough to do damage to you. But with all these Sahagwins now climbing onto the boat, what I'm doing here is, I know it's been about a month since we've played. I wanted to give you all a quick re-lesson or a quick test of combat just to make sure you remembered some of the stuff from combat. I know we did a lot of role-playing last time, and we had the combat with the soldiers that only took a portion of the session. So I wanted to reinforce some of the things we learned from last session's combat. This is going to be kind of a practice combat, depending on what happens. It might not be practice. It might be your last if you all decide that, or the dice decide that you all aren't worthy enough to continue the story. But hopefully that's not the case. But you have evil Happy now, so you asked for it, so you're in trouble.
Oh no!
So before we begin combat, you all can see, again, the Sahagwans are boarding your ship. Some of them are on the ship now. Some of them are still climbing, speaking out in the Sahagwan tongue. Unless any of you know Sahagwan, which I don't think any of you do. But if you do have it, you'll understand them. If you don't, you have no idea what they're saying. But you can hear them all going. Before we begin combat, remember, we're going to do what's called initiative, and that's determine who goes first in the turn order. Oh, she with a 20. I
guess I'm going to roll all 20s today.
There you go. And then we have Captain with a 9, Benno with a 4, Dez with a 5, Pio with a 17.
Oh my god,
nice.
Benno.
Close buddies, let's go.
Pio has a 17. And remember for Naku, your character, or Benno, Shikoshi, your Steel Defender, is going to go on the exact same turn as you, Benno. Goes right after you or before you, however you want to do it. So we have she, Pio, Captain, or I should say Rainy as Captain on the name, Dez, and then Benno. And then I'm going to roll some dice myself to see when the Sahagwans go. I rolled a 4. So the Sahagwans, let's just say the Sahagwans go after Benno, because Benno has a 4 as well. So I'll put enemies on the turn order, and they have a 4. So you all get to go first.
Oh my god.
They're all busy climbing the ship. The orc was able to spot them fast enough to warn the party. Let's go ahead and start with She. She, you have a 20 on your initiative. So what are you doing, She? You can see that these sea creatures are looking intimidating, and they're most likely going to be attacking you.
Can I ask if there's such thing as throw distance?
Yes, you may. There is such thing as throw distance. What are you trying to throw?
The fish that I picked up at, I guess, the one that's closest to me. So
Calling
I
him
want
a fish
to,
is
as a free action, if it's possible, or as a secondary action if I don't move.
What are you trying to? Are you trying to do damage, or
I guess
if you're trying
more
to
as a distraction,
okay,
or to kind of confuse it.
Okay, I was gonna say if you're trying to damage it, that's gonna be an action. If you're just trying to throw it near it to throw it off, we'll go ahead and say that's a quick. We'll say it's a free action because you're just interacting with that item. You're just throwing it. So, as far as throwing that fish, you're trying to throw it to the closest Sahagwan near you, which is about 20 feet, 15 feet away from you, so you can easily do that.
Okay. So, she's going to reach into his jar and pull out the fish that he just recently bought from the captain of the ship. Toss it right at the face of the Sahagwan closest to him.
Take this, fish people. I don't know.
All right, she says, I read it in a book once. They're allergic to fish, and tosses it at their face.
So you toss that fish at the face or next to its face?
Next to it, or at its face. Whether it hits or not, it's...
Okay, so if you're going to throw it at its face, go ahead and make me an attack roll with one of your ranged weapons. Do you have a ranged weapon, She?
Yes.
Yeah, so go ahead and click on whatever ranged weapon you have, and that we'll say that's your attack roll to see if the fish hits at this point. In this case, you might do damage, so this is going to be your action if you do this, since you're like directly throwing the fish at its face to possibly do damage. You still have your bonus action, your movement action, though, if you do this.
Okay, and for a bonus action, I can do another attack, or...
Bonus action, you can only do a spell that's considered bonus action only. So spells can either be considered a full action or a bonus action.
Okay. Well, I thought I had a ranged weapon, but I'm not actually seeing one.
Okay, no problem. If that's all, if you don't see one, just roll me a straight 1d20 and then add your dexterity modifier. You throw the fish at the Sahagwan's face, and as you do so, the Sahagwan opens its mouth and bites down on the fish and begins to chew at it.
Oh my god.
You're not able to harm the Sahagwan with only a 6. And as it does so, you can see that it is disgustingly chewing on the fish, tearing it to shreds. And it looks at you, She, while it's chewing.
All right, she will scream, I was wrong, it likes fish.
Oh my god, they're all cannibals.
Oh my god.
All right, yeah, do you do anything else, She?
So as a second action, then I will cast one of my spells.
God, everything I'm looking at just says one action.
Your healing word is a bonus action, but that's a healing spell.
Right.
You have Misty Step, which is a bonus action that allows you to basically teleport 30 feet.
What is that on the ground next to me? Is that rope?
Rope and a barrel.
For my bonus action, could I grab some of that rope and just kind of prepare it in case I want to use it on my next turn?
Yeah, of course. That'd be, yeah, you could do that. Simple enough.
You're gonna go
Alright,
howdy
so-
cowboy on us?
Yeehaw!
All right, so
Yeah,
for
you
a
could do
bonus
that.
action, then she will reach down into the corner of the boat and pick up that rope, throw it over his shoulder, and prepare it just in case someone gets near.
Okay, sounds good. Do you stay where you're at? Do you move anywhere?
I'll stay where I am.
Okay.
I think that's a decent position.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. If that's the case, Pio, it is now your turn.
Yes, and the first thing that will come to this kitty's head is, can I set this on fire?
Oh, God. What are you trying to set on fire?
You
Depends.
see this seaman right here on my right? Pio would like to cast Sacred Flame.
Oh, God. Okay, yeah, you may attack it with Sacred Flame. There's the Sahagwan that's literally 10 feet away from Pio, who's climbing on top. This is the same Sahagwan that chewed up the fish that she threw at, but you may attempt to cast Sacred Flame. All right. Oh, it's a dexterity save. Okay, so it's not an attack roll. I have to make a dexterity save. Okay. So, Pio, you begin to cast Sacred Flame. I have to make a roll. I rolled a 7 plus whatever the Sahagwan's dexterity is. It's not going to be higher than a 15. So it fails. So you do 3 radiant damage to the Sahagwan as it's climbing the ship. She throws that fish at it, and the Sahagwan begins to chew at the fish while it's preoccupied staring at she. You're able to cast Sacred Flame, and it begins to burn the left arm of the Sahagwan. And as it does so, it begins to shake its arm violently, and it looks over at you. It's upset.
Damage is damage.
But for 3 radiant damage, you're able to do to it. Do you do anything with a bonus action? I know you have one of your spells. You can give someone additional armor class defense as one of your bonus actions. I know you did that last time. I don't know if you want to do it again, but you do have your bonus action you can do, and then you can make a movement if you want.
I would like to cast, Pio would like to cast Shield of Faith on Captain or Rainy.
Okay, so whoever receives that is going to gain, I believe, a +2 to their armor class?
Yes.
Okay, so which of the 2 are you wanting to give it to?
I wanted to give that to Captain.
All right. So, Rainy, whenever I attack you and I ask you what your armor class is on your character sheet, always add 2 to that. All right. Do you move anywhere, Pio, after doing so?
I'll move about. I'll move. I don't know how many feet that is.
So each square is 5 feet.
And I'll move 10 feet to distance myself a bit from the 2.
From the 2 Sahagwans that
Good choice.
were close to you. Now you're now behind
Yeah.
Orc who's steering the wheel, and he looks over his shoulder after seeing she throw a fish and Pio light the Sahagwan's arm on fire. He's still sweating while he's steering the ship. He's just like he takes the left hand and wipes his forehead. Oh my God!
I'll back up the homie. Guys, back.
Okay, Captain or Rainy, it is now your turn.
Should I be mean?
I would be mean because these monsters are not going to be nice. Now the Koldarian soldiers, you could have talked to them and maybe struck a deal. These Sahagwans, most likely not. They're monsters that are pure evil.
Okay. I'm gonna assume I can roleplay before or after cantrip.
Whenever you want. Role play to
Okay.
your heart's content.
Okay. Okay. I could be smart, but I want to have fun, so I'm gonna do something stupid.
Oh God.
Okay. Can I use
Prestidigitation.
Yes.
You had this,
Prestige.
we had the same like line last time. You called it Presti
Yeah,
at the end of it.
Presti.
Let me use my pesto presti. I want to make a non-magical item that fits in my hand.
Okay. And what is this magical, non-magical item? What are you making?
I'm gonna need your help here, Happy. Think
Okay.
of the most, unforgiving hot sauce you can ever think of.
Oh my god, okay.
And throw it out the window because this is now that hot sauce.
Okay. Okay.
I want it so hot that it could cause way more than discomfort. It can cause some form of
1,000
plastic burn.
decibels
Okay.
of
Okay.
spice.
A billion Scoville decibel.
Alright, so
Ah.
remember, prestidigitation cannot physically hurt someone. However, it can be cold or warm or whatever. It won't physically do damage, though. But,
Okay.
I mean, if,
It
you can
can
make it
be-
hot. You can make it hot. Just
Yeah,
not
spicy hot.
Yes, yes.
So it's the temperature's not hot, it's just spicy hot.
Okay.
And I want to flash it on the fish person's face and gills.
Oh my god! Okay. So, Rainy, you're able to do so. What you're going to have to do is, with your prestidigitation, you have a range of 10 feet, so you don't have to get right next to the Sahagwan who's climbing the boat. As the Sahagwan's climbing the boat, you can see its face 10 feet away from you, so you're able to toss this hot sauce towards its face. If you're going to do that, I'm going to have to make it we'll say it has to make a dexterity saving throw to avoid the hot sauce. What are you trying to do with the hot sauce? You're trying to
Trying to see how see the limits of their pain.
Okay.
Experimenting.
Experimenting.
Okay. Remember, prestidigitation is like a trick spell. So it won't do, again, it won't do damage, but you can fool it. You can trick it.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely have to make it, I'll make a saving throw for it. What is your spell saving throw? That's what I have to beat in order to save.
Okay. 13.
Okay, so I have to roll 13 or higher for it to avoid it. If I roll lower than a 13, it fails.
Okay.
So you're throwing it at its eyes, and gills, trying to make it freak out, basically?
Yes, and
Okay.
fall off the boat. 'Cause
Okay,
it's still
oh.
climbing.
Okay, no, perfect. Alright, so I'm
The
making a roll.
spies!
So I made a roll, and its dex is a +0. So I rolled 12. All it has is a 12. I had to roll 13 or more. It failed. So Rainy, you summon up the extra spicy sriracha, and as you do so, you throw the sriracha towards the Hogwin's face and gills, and it's not fast enough to avoid whatever you're throwing at it. It thinks it's real, despite it not being real, and it begins to freak out. And as it hits the eyes and gills, the Sahagwan is not bright enough to necessarily know what's going on. I'm going to make another roll to see if it knows. I rolled a 2, so it's very dumb right now. It thinks it's completely real, and it begins to shriek out in not fear, but just in confusion. It's and as it's freaking out, it lets go of the side of the boat and it falls back into the ocean.
Damn, murdered with an illusion. I think
Well-
we feel Rainy now.
Wait, but fish can swim.
Yeah, so he's not dead. He just falls into the ocean. He's just gonna have to take time to climb back up. If he's willing to after that nonsense.
Ship still going, by the way? Are we still driving this ship while we're going?
Yes, so the orc's still steering the ship, so the Sahagwan might get left behind here depending on what's going on. But Rainy, that's your action. You can still move and roleplay or whatever.
Yes. Can I talk to the orc
Yeah. What do you say?
shipman? Turn the boat just a little bit to the side and crush the fishman down there for me with the boat.
The orc looks quickly at Rainy after seeing Rainy throw sriracha at this sea creature's face, and he's just like, I don't know if that's gonna work, but I'll do it anyways. And he begins to spin the steering wheel to the right, wanting to try and turn the ship. He doesn't think it's gonna do much, but he's doing it anyway. The ship slowly begins to turn left slightly to try and run over that Sahagwan. And do you move anywhere, Captain?
Do I move?
Or you can stay where you're at.
I'm gonna move.
Okay, so you move closer to the edge of the ship where the fish or the Sahagwan fell.
Yes, and I want to watch it get smushed by the boat.
Oh my god! So
To confirm the kill.
as you step over to the edge where the Sahagwan falls, you see it fall into the water. It goes underneath the waves. You don't necessarily see where it's at, but the boat the boat slowly begins to cover where the Sahagwan fell. You're not sure if the boat hurt it or if it's just under the boat. You do know that Sahagwans can swim, though. I mean, they are aquatic monsters. You're not sure if it's dead. It's not showing though. It's not coming back up yet.
Drive better! Squish the fish!
The orc's just like, I don't think it works that way, Captain.
Captain, no! Squish the fish!
All right, with that then, Des, you're hearing Rainy do all this, since you're right next to Rainy and the orc. What are you now doing, Des? It's your turn.
Des looks over at the fish in disgust and wipes her paws together and just shrugs it off. And then she looks at the orc and then she says, I fucking hate fish. They are so disgusting. The texture is just so nasty and slimy. I just don't want to touch them at all. So, are you good at fighting at all, Mr. Orc?
The orc looks at you. Not necessarily. I'm mostly a fisherman. I can throw a trident and some nets, but I'm not much of a fighter.
What happens if I throw you as I grab onto...
Oh, God, don't throw me, please. I don't want to
okay.
get anywhere near those. I hate them more than you.
All right. I look towards Pio and I say, do you want to go for a ride?
Oh.
I mean, I love myself some fish.
Okay,
And
here
nature
we go.
as a cat.
Oh, God.
Grab Pio by the ears. And
By
then
the ears?
helicopter,
Oh, got my ears.
a helicopter with a centrifugal force of 25, well, not really, but more like 5 miles per hour. And I try to hurl it at the fish that's swimming.
The fish that's swimming?
Hey, actually, no, I don't want to kill Pio.
going to
I
what?
don't want to kill Pio. Fish that's at the back.
Okay. So the one that is chewing on the fish that she threw at it.
Yes.
And that got
yes.
burned by Pio.
Yes, we're
Okay,
gonna
I was about
avenge
to
him.
say, you're throwing Pio off board.
I'm a cat. What am I supposed to do?
All right, so since Pio is letting you do that, I'll go ahead and say that you're able to grab Pio. So what I'm going to want you to do is make me an attack roll, Des. Just go ahead and use your unarmed strike attack, because that's based off your dex, which this is going to be, since you're throwing ranged. I'll say, depending on what you roll, will determine what happens here. You
Right.
have to roll fairly well, because you're actually throwing a person, which is a lot harder to do than throwing a spear per se.
Okay, here we go, Pio. Are you ready?
Yeah, but
Oh,
let's go!
Oh my god, a 20. Okay. So, Des, you're able to pick up. And remember, Des, you can still, I believe you have a certain number of shifts that you can do per day. I don't know if
Okay.
you have more than one or not yet. I think you do. But remember, when you shift, you get more into, you become more of like a mouse-like creature. But you're able to pick Pio up easily with your muscles. And as you do so, Pio is balled up, and you just throw Pio directly at the Sahagwan that just got burnt by the radiant damage that Pio did to it. How do you throw it? Do you throw it like Pio's a baseball, like you're a baseball pitcher, or what?
Well, I was imagining that Pio would be like planking, and then I'd be
okay.
Blanking.
and I'd like throw Pio like as if he was like a straight boomerang.
Okay, so let's go ahead and do that then. As you do so, you rolled a 20, which is incredibly good.
Let's do some damage.
Okay, so you rolled 6 damage. So as you throw the planked Pio, Pio begins to, I guess, Pio, do you spin in the air like a drill, like you're from Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann trying to pierce the heavens?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Trying to eat some fish. Carry up that fish tonight.
So Pio, again, is a cat shifter. Pio, he has his arms pointing forward as he's spinning in midair with his claws out, and he does the Giga Drill Breaker. And he is able to slam into the Sahagwan for 6 damage, which is a good amount of damage. And as you do so, I want Des, make me a strength roll. So, a 15.
Strength.
So this is going to determine if you're able to knock the Sahagwan back. So I have to
into
make
the water?
Yes. So I have to make a roll against your strength to see if it pushes it back. So
Okay.
I rolled a 10 plus its strength, which is not going to be more than a 15 or a 15. So as Pio does 6 damage, you are able to pierce into its scaly chest, Pio, drawing blood.
Yeah,
And
yeet.
as you do
Yeah,
so,
yeet.
the Sahagwan is pushed over to the side of the boat, and it falls into the sea and just yells out, "Ah!"
Sit down!
And it falls
tasty
into
fish.
the water for 6 damage. All right, Des and Pio, you don't go overboard with it. You were able to stop right before falling off by hitting the.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. Des,
I hope
Des, do you move anywhere or make any bonus actions?
No, I'm good.
Okay. It is now Benno's turn.
Switch to my halberd then.
Okay. Oh, the bear shifter's pulling out the big weapon, the halberd.
Oh,
Toss
here
my
we go.
mystery barrel at the,
Okay. So you want to attack the closest Sahagwan to your left, or I should say to your right, Benno. So you can move towards the Sahagwan. You have enough movement to make it to it. And you
Can
can.
I toss it from here at the top of the stairs?
Oh, you want to throw your halberd at it?
Yeah, the mystery barrel that I picked up last time.
Oh, you can throw the mystery barrel.
Alright.
So go ahead and make me an attack roll then. So roll a d20 plus your dex. So just roll a d20, then we'll add your dex, whatever your dex modifier is. Because when it comes to range attacks, it's always going to be based off your dexterity. Oh no! All right. So, okay. So this is what happens.
Oh.
Naku rolled a natural 1, and in 5th edition, natural 1s aren't a thing. So normally a natural 1 means utter failure in other D&Ds, and a lot of the times it can be negative things that take place if you roll a natural 1. But you rolled a natural 1. In this case, you're not going to hurt yourself since there's no critical failures in 5th edition. But because you rolled a 1, Benno, as you take the mystery barrel that you grabbed from the docks at Aloria, you hold it over your head and you're about to. Were you trying to like slide it down the stairs or throw it at him? Like roll it or throw?
Trying to full on throw it.
Okay.
overhead.
So as you pick up your barrel, what you're able to do, right as you're about to throw the barrel, Benno, the lid to the barrel pops open. And as it does so, this small gnome falls out of the barrel. What are you doing? Don't throw me, man!
How are you in there?
There was a gnome that was hiding in the barrel, the mystery barrel. Did Haphazard plan this? No, he did not. But because there was a natural 1, I had to do something. The small gnome just falls out the barrel. You're not able to throw it. And this gnome looks up at you, Benno. He stands at about 3 feet 8 inches tall. He's pretty short, and he's kind of pudgy. And he's shaking his fists at you. What are you doing? I'm trying to stay hidden, man. Why are you throwing around a barrel? You're making me sick. Apparently, the gnome is a stowaway, and he was hiding from the soldiers by hiding in his barrel. He had no idea that you picked him up because he fell asleep in the barrel.
I'm gonna say to him, if I'm not tossing you overboard, you're staying and fighting. And I'm gonna push him in front of me in the stairs.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
All right, the little gnome, he gets pushed onto the stairs and he trips and the pudgy gnome begins to roll down the stairs. And he's sitting now at the bottom of the stairs next to Sakoshi, and he seems to be confused and dazed, but we'll put this little guy right there next to Sakoshi. Benno, do you do anything else? I know you can still control Sakoshi on your turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna move Sakoshi to the mid-stairs, and I'm just gonna hunker down and prepare to defend the stairwell.
All right, that gnome goes crashing down. He's like, "What are you doing? No, no!" And he's rolling down the stairs, and as he hits the bottom of the stairs, he looks up, and the Sahagwin that's ahead of him in front is growling out, hissing, and the gnome's just like, "Oh my goodness! Oh hell no!" All right, it is now the enemy's turn.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Can I, in character, shout something out?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's okay. They're allergic to gnomes. I read it in a book once.
Wait, that's what you said about fish.
That didn't go well last time.
Oh,
I believe you.
make me a deception roll really quick, She.
Okay.
I know it's not your turn, but make me a deception roll. I want to see if the gnome believes you. A 14. Okay. I'll make a roll. Oh my god, I rolled a 4. I'm rolling terrible. So the D&D gods are wanting the chaos to ensue. So I rolled a 4, which I failed for the gnome. The gnome, he looks back over his shoulder at She. What? They're allergic to gnomes? All right, let me go hug it. Yeah. All right.
Oh no.
And the Sahagwin that's in front of the gnome, it charges at this gnome with its trident because that's the closest person to this Sahagwin. And it stabs down at the gnome with its spear. It has this large or a medium-sized spear. And as it does so, the gnome holds his hands up over his face because he's much shorter than the Sahagwin. He's considered a small humanoid, where the Sahagwin's a medium humanoid sized humanoid. And the gnome's like, "Oh wait, no, I'm supposed to hug you. No, spear stabbing yet." And I rolled a 17, and that's going to deal damage to the gnome. The gnome takes 6 points of damage. So that Sahagwin now stabbing the gnome at the bottom of the stairs. You can see that the stowaway gnome has a spear going into his left shoulder, and he's like, "Ah, it hurts! Oh, by the gods!" And at that time, the other Sahagwin that are boarding the ship, they're actually able to finally board onto the ship. And as they do so, they look around and see that 2 of their allies were knocked off of the boat. The 2 that were knocked off, they are still trying to gather themselves. They're not able to swim back up just yet, so you don't see the 2 of them. You don't know what happened to them. Rainie, you're thinking the ship probably ran over and killed it, but you have no idea. But with that's all that the other Sahagwins can do. They had to use most of their movements to climb on board, so they're stuck where they're at. It is now your turn. Actually, I'm gonna make the gnome go at the same turn as the enemies. He just goes last. So after being stabbed, the gnome just goes, I heard you're allergic. I'm gonna hug you now. It hurts. And I rolled a 2. The gnome tries to hug the Sahagwin, but the Sahagwin holds out its left hand as if he was the little brother trying to punch at his older brother. He's just holding this gnome away. The gnome can't reach with his stubby arms. He's just trying to hug onto the Sahagwin at this point. You just see him holding the gnome back. It's kind of it is a depressing sight to see. And he's not able to do it. It is not your turn.
All right. She will say, "I probably should have mentioned that gnomes just make them itchy." All right, and then I will. So the ones in the water are they still in the water? Are they visible, or are they?
No, you cannot see them at this point in time.
Okay.
Yeah, they're both underwater.
Then in that case, I will probably cast Fairy Fire. It's the range 60 feet. That should be plenty.
Yeah, that's plenty to hit any of them, I would say.
So I will do Fairy Fire on the one in front of the gnome.
Okay.
Or is that only in an area? Yeah, 20-foot cube.
Yeah, so it's going to take an effect into that area. So if you want to hit only the Sahagwins, you'd want to cast it a little further away.
Yeah, so I will cast it right there. Should hit all 3, I think.
Yes.
So I'll cast Fairy Fire right there.
Okay. Fairy Fire is basically going to help everyone out. It's like a debuff on the enemies.
Right.
So I have to make a saving throw, correct? Yes.
Yes.
Dexterity
I'm trying
saving
to click on it.
Oh, you got it. It went. So any creature in the area when the spell is cast is also outlined in light. If it fails a dex saving throw, So for the duration, the objects and affected creatures shed dim light in a 10-foot radius. Any attack roll against the affected creatures or objects has advantage if the attacker can see it. So basically, the 3 that were just affected, I'm making rolls here. That's a 13, that's under the 14, so it fails. That's another 4, that's a failure. And that's a 9, that's going to be a failure. So they all failed. So whoever attacks these Sahagwins, they're going to have advantage. Remember, when you have advantage, you take the higher of the 2 rolls. All right, so you're able to hit all 3 of them. Nice. I failed on all 3. And that was an action, so if you have any bonus actions, you can still do that.
As a bonus action, can I loot the barrel next to me?
Yeah. She and looting these barrels, man. So as you loot the barrel, make me an investigation check to see what you find. Okay. So you rolled a 3. You have a hard time opening the barrel, cracking it open, but you eventually do so. And as you're rummaging, you don't really seem to find all that much. The barrel is mostly empty. You find a couple of small tuna fish.
Okay.
And that's
Can I
about
take
it.
one and add it to my jar?
You may.
All right.
Shurako is not above to catch you doing so like last time, so you can.
Hell yeah. Free fish.
All right. And do you move anywhere, or do you stay there?
I think I will move right over here next to the driver of the ship.
Okay. So you're right next to the orc and Des. All right, perfect. With that, then, Pio, it is your turn.
Yes, and I would like to move right next to Benno.
All right, so Pio rushes over next to Benno. You see that gnome that was tossed down the stairs is now has a spear in its shoulder, and he's trying to hug onto this Sahagwin. What are you doing?
I'm going to cast Healing Word on this little man. This man. We're gonna keep him alive.
Okay.
He's gonna join us.
Oh, he's gonna join you. You're gonna turn him. Okay. All right. So go ahead and cast your healing word to see how much HP the gnome regains, because he did take a fair chunk of damage. All right. For 6 damage, he's healed. As you do so, he sees his shoulder that was stabbed by the spear begins to feel a bit better, and the wound slowly begins to close. And he looks down at his shoulder. Ah! It's healing! I'm magical! He has no idea you casted this.
Little man, you got this. I have faith in you. You're so pure. I have faith in you.
Alright, do you do anything else? If not, it is Rainie's turn.
And I would like to use Sacred Flame again. Once again, redemption arc. Gotta try to burn the fish.
Yeah, because your healing word is a bonus action. So, yes. You can do your Sacred
Flame.
Oh! Okay, so if I fail, it takes 10 damage. You rolled max damage.
Oh, let's go!
Oh my god, I rolled a 9! Okay.
I gotta save this little man. I'm determined.
This dice, let me switch my dice. The dice is not liking me tonight. Alright, let me switch my D20. And this is why you want multiple dice. Alright, so you deal 10 points of radiant damage. The Sahagwin in front of the gnome, it hisses out from 10 points of damage. It's hurt. You hurt it pretty badly.
That's what it deserves. It hurt our little man here. Our friend.
Alright, then with that, Rainie, it is now your turn.
Can I give something to Des?
Yeah, what are you trying to give the Des?
I want her to use the thing that I'm gonna give her.
Okay, yeah, so you're only about 15 feet away from Des, so yeah, you may move up to Des and give her something.
It's not. Well, actually, you gave me an idea. Hold on. I'm gonna use Shape Water cantrip.
Oh, Shape Water? Okay.
Yeah. Since we're surrounded by the sea, it's very fitting.
So you're trying to shape some water. You won't be able to shape all of the water around you, but you can shape You can shape a small portion of it. So what are you shaping some of the water into?
So it says I can control a 5-foot cube amount of water?
Yeah, a 5-foot cube.
Okay,
so
that's way more than enough. Way more than enough. Okay. Alright, hey Des, I have something for you. I'm gonna make you 2 really thick water spheres, and I put hot sauce on the tip.
As his ears perk up, as she takes these 2 giant spheres of water with hot sauce into her palms. Oh, what do I do with this?
Happy birthday! Go nuts!
What?
Random happy birthday! Oh my god!
This hot sauce is so hot, but the water is toning it down.
It's frozen. It says you can freeze the water provided there's no creature in it.
Oh.
So it's an ice sphere with hot sauce on the tip.
Oh shit. All right. Thanks, Captain. I knew I could count on you.
Oh yeah.
After all, we've known each other for so many years, and we get to, as I talk more and more about our background together.
All right, so you give Des this hot sauce. You can still move a couple more squares if you want, since you didn't make a full movement. Do you just stay where you're at, Rainy?
Let's just pretend that I'm sitting by the this banister thing, and
Okay.
I'm just like eating imaginary popcorn, wanting to see if she uses the the left.
Okay.
Just having a good time.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right. So you just chill by the steering wheel with Des, she, and the orc. Des, is now your turn. What are you doing?
Des looks over at Captain and bounces one of the balls in her palm. Here, take one of these. I can't do it alone. Let's do it together.
Yeah, just like old times.
As she points towards one of the fish people to the top right.
Okay, so the Sahagwin that is closest to the gnome.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So you both throw these items at Sahagwin.
Yes.
All right.
Dodge this, bitch!
So I'm going to say, instead of having you both roll separately, I'm just going to go ahead and say that you have advantage on the attack. This Sahagwin was not affected by the fairy fire spell that she casted. So we'll say and we'll just say for rule purposes in the game, Rainie's giving you advantage because it's going to dodge Rainie's, but by dodging Rainie's, it makes it easier for yours to hit it, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
So Des, go ahead and roll an attack roll. You can use your unarmed strike if you want because that's based off your dex. So that would work. So we'll see
Here
if
we
this
go.
hits. A 12, and that will hit.
Woo!
Yeah, so roll your unarmed or hit your unarmed strike to see how much damage it will do. All right, so 5 damage. So I'm gonna make a roll real quick. So let's just say that I know it was a prestidigitation, or no, it was actual water that Rainie created. It was not prestidigitation. It was the shape water. So let's just say, Des, you throw the water so freaking hard that it slams up against the Sahagwin, who lives in water, and it deals 5 points of damage. And as it does so, you hit it so hard in the face, it dodges the one that Rainie threw, but by dodging it, it leaves itself defenseless against Dez's throw. And as Dez throws it, your biceps and your triceps on your arm grow slightly as you throw it so hard. It curves and it smacks the Sahagwin directly in the face for 5 damage. And that 5 damage that you hit it for, it knocks some of the Sahagwin's teeth out. It almost barrels over to the side unconscious. Almost. It's hurt.
Goodness.
It's hurt.
Yeah, take that hot sauce. How you like that?
And the gnome who's in front of the Sahagwin's not seeing any of you guys throw anything, not seeing any of you casting spells. He's just like, yeah, I am magical. Let's go. He thinks he's doing all this.
Precious Bean.
He's so precious.
We have to protect him.
Des, do you move anywhere or do you stay where you're at?
I'll go closer. How many moves can I go? Hold on, let me check.
You have a speed of, I think, 40? 35 or 40?
Okay, yeah.
So each square is 5.
I go towards the fish people, the first one that we just hit.
Okay, so you want to go up next to the gnome.
The gnome.
Yeah, so it's the Sahagwin that's further back here. That's next to the gnome here.
Yes, let's go to the gnome.
All right. So you rush down the stairs past Benno, Pio, and Takoshi. You're now standing next to this small gnome who's about 3'8" in height, and he slowly looks over his left shoulder up at Dez. Now he just goes, "Hey, you here to join me? I'm doing so much work, man."
You've been... Never mind. Yeah, let's do it!
Yeah, let's fuck him up. All right, Benno, it is now your turn.
Is the gnome still hugging onto the fish, or is he standing on his own now?
He's standing on his own.
Alright, I'm gonna have Sakoshi run forward between the gnome's leg so that he's now mounted on the iron turtle.
Oh, God. Okay. So Sakoshi, your still defender, goes under the gnome. It picks him up, so he's now riding Sakoshi. The gnome looks down. Ah, what the heck? Oh my God, look! I have my own mount! My own steed! I am invincible!
That's it. I'm gonna have Benno move forward, and I can reach the fishman from here with my halberd, right?
I think you can. It has reach. Yes, you may. Yes, you can.
Alright. So I want to stab over the gnome into the fishman.
Okay, so make an attack roll with your halberd. Ooh, 17 that's a good one, so that will hit. 7 slashing damage. All right, sweet. As you take your halberd, you swing it violently over the gnome's head or next to his shoulders, however you do it, and you strike the Sahagwan so hard that you lop its head off, clean off. And the head goes flying into the ocean, and the body drops down onto the ship as blood gushes out of its now headless body. And as it drops there, the gnome looks down at it. I am so good!
This gnome is invincible!
I threw you down here for a reason.
And Benno, you can still do a bonus action or move around, whatever you want to do. Are you having Sakoshi charge at the incoming? Yeah. Oh my God! Okay, so the gnome's still on Sakoshi, so I'll move the gnome as well. All right.
Can Sakoshi still do its own attack?
Yes. Okay, Sakoshi can still attack. Okay, so go ahead and attack with Sakoshi. And as Sakoshi charges forth, the gnome points with his left hand. Charge, my faithful steed! Charge! And as he's charging, that's a 16. That is going to hit the Sahagwans for 7 force damage. Sakoshi charges into the Sahagwan, slamming into it, and it deals 7 force damage. Nice. The Sahagwan is pushed back slightly and looks down at the gnome, and Sakoshi is just, it's angry. But it is now its turn unless there's anything else you can do, which I don't think there is, Benno. I think that's it.
Okay.
So it is now the Sahagwan's turn. There are 3 left on the boat still. The one that's closest to Sakoshi that just got attacked, it's going to step forward a few feet, not far enough to where it's leaving your threat range, Sakoshi and the gnome, but it's going to go ahead and attack the gnome on Sakoshi. I rolled an 18. That's going to hit. And the spear stabs into the gnome's side for 5 damage. The gnome goes, ah! It's but a flesh wound! I'll heal up! And the other Sahagwans, the one that's to the south, closer to where Captain hit the Sahagwan off the ship, it's going to charge forth. What it's doing is it is now going into... Actually, no, it can't do this just yet. It is going to charge forward, though. It does have a 30 feet movement. It's using a dash. It's using its action to do double movement. So it is now next to Rainie. It rushes up the stairs towards Rainie. It's not able to attack you, Rainie, because it had to use an action to use dash to move twice as much. But you see the Sahagwan charging at you, Rainie. The next turn it gets, it will attack you. The other Sahagwan, the third one, comes up to Sakoshi as well. And Sakoshi, and it's going to attack with a spear, and it has advantage because the gnome is now surrounded. And it's going to hit the gnome for an additional 2 points of damage, and the gnome gets stabbed in the side with the second spear. Ah! I'm not feeling so good! Gods, allow me the strength to defeat these evil fishmen! And the other 2 that were underwater, they both now pop their heads up. And as they pop their heads up from the ocean, they're going to try to climb. And as they're climbing midway for their movement, they're able to get to the edge of the boat. They're not able to get onto the boat. And they both look at what's happening and that they see that one of their allies is headless, lying on the ship's floor. So the two of them shake. They look at each other. One is burnt from Pio's Sacred Flame attack, and the other one had the hot sauce splashed all over it. They're looking at each other, and they shake their heads, and they're in agreement. They both jump off the side of the boat, and they begin to swim away. They don't want anything to do with you.
Psychologically damaged.
Yes!
Hell yeah.
One way to take them out.
It is now she's turn again.
The gnome is dying, but not dead yet.
Yes.
What is the range on Cure Wounds?
Cure Wounds, I believe, is a touch.
It's a touch.
Okay.
It's a touch.
You do have, I think, a bonus action spell. I think you have Healing Word.
Oh, I
don't
do
you?
have Healing Word, yeah.
So you can use your bonus action. Yeah, you can use your bonus action to heal him.
Okay. So, as a bonus action, I will do that first off.
Okay.
So I will...
Using the random gnome that came from a natural 1 dice roll. Okay. For 5 points of damage, you're able to heal. So after the second spear stabs the gnome, he instantly begins to heal for 5 damage, and he's just like, the gods are on my side! And you still have your action and your movement.
As I'm casting that, I'll also say, you get him, little guy! And then for my action, so the guy closest to me, the Sahagwin, I guess I'll cast Moonbeam on.
Okay, nice.
It's
so
a
one
5-foot radius, so it should just be his square.
All right. So as the Sahagwin charges up those stairs towards Rainy, she, after healing the random gnome, you cast another spell, Moonbeam, and when a creature enters the spell's area for the first time, or if it starts to turn there, it is engulfed in ghostly flames that cause searing pain, and it must make a Constitution saving throw. It takes 2d10 radiant damage on a failed save, or if it succeeds, it takes half as much damage. So I have to make a saving throw. I have to beat the 14 on Constitution. I rolled a 12, but let me add whatever the Sahagwin's Constitution is, which is a 1. That's 13, so I still fail. So it takes 2d10 radiant damage. Go ahead and roll 2d10 damage. Whoa! 16! Okay. All right, 16 points of radiant damage as the Sahagwin hisses out at Rainy's face. It feels this burning radiant energy begins to attack its scales, and its body begins to smoke from the attack, the moonbeam. Rainy, you see this light from up above, a pale beam shines down onto this Sahagwin as it's hissing out and smoking. It's not dead, but it's really hurt after that attack.
Wait, we forgot the batter.
Get the panko!
Someone run downstairs.
Oh my god, Benno, go get some foodstuffs, man.
I'm on it.
Yeah, get it ready.
We're having dinner tonight.
We eating
I'll start
good.
the fire.
You need a hand in that?
Heard the cheeks are sweet.
Oh god.
Wait, no, I meant the face cheeks.
So you can still make a movement if you want, or you can stand your ground where you're at.
I'm going to step further back, probably just under the mast right there, I think.
All right, so you step about 5 or so feet away from the Sahagwin you just dealt damage to. All right, Pio, it is now your turn.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Did I do a free action?
No, you
think
did
I
not. Nope.
As a free action, could I start tying the rope to the tuna that I grabbed?
Oh yeah. I'll let you do that.
Okay. Thanks.
I think I'm going to first move right next to the side of the captain, because this man driving, we need him to have clear focus.
Okay.
So that means we gotta get rid of this fish man. We gotta get him ready and toasted for that fish and chips.
Okay. My God.
So I'm sorry for this poor man, but I'm gonna have to set you on fire. You just got hit, but I gotta set you on fire, sir.
All right, so you rush next to Rainy and the orc that's driving the ship. Ah, God, I rolled 13. Lower than a 15. These dice hate me tonight. All right, so it failed for
That's rigged.
3 points of sacred flame damage, radiant damage. So after the 16, that's a total of 19 points of damage. So with that, the Sahagwin drops to both of its knees. It's not dead, but it's really hurt. It's like, you do anything else, Pio? It's not dead, but it's close to being dead.
I have nothing after that. I want to just pat the cat. Pio's gonna pat the orc man and pat him and say, "Good job. Just keep driving. Keep going. We got this handled. Fish and chips is on us tonight."
Do you do anything with your bonus actions?
I think I just won't use any. I don't think I have anything that I can use particularly.
All right, Rainy, it is now your turn. You have this Sahagwin right next to you who is dropped to both knees in pain.
I have a question for Benno, if he can hear me from all the way over there.
Yeah, you can yell out to Benno.
Okay, I'm gonna yell at Benno. Hey, is this edible? Since you're at the shed?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yes!
Fish curry tonight.
Oh, God.
Alright, nobody move, nobody... Keep this one just barely alive, because it's fresher that way. I want it to be as fresh as possible. The other two can go. It's on his knees. Do I have to restrain it?
No, so what you can do, it's on its knees, which means it's just describing how badly it's hurt. It can still move, it just has to get up and start moving away. So if you want to restrain it, I would say you can knock it out, just go ahead and attack it and deal damage, like non-lethal damage, or you can just attack it and kill it. But if you just want to restrain it, just go ahead and do an attack and just say you're knocking it out. If you do enough damage to knock it out. It's pretty hurt though, so whatever you do, unless you roll a 1, it's probably gonna die or fall unconscious. And remember, you have advantage on attacking it because of She's spell from the prior.
I have no idea what that means, but I'm gonna assume it's a good thing.
It is.
It's a good thing, okay. Tartar sauce. Okay, so we're all in agreement we're gonna eat this one.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh.
fish.
God.
Can I taste it? Like, can I lick it?
I mean, you can, but it might stab you for doing that. It's gonna think you're weird. It's gonna look at you like you're a creep.
Care what a fish thinks of me? You're a fish. Your opinions mean nothing to me.
Oh my God! I mean, it's a fish monster that lives in a society of Sahagwins, but I mean,
Okay, even less reason to give a shit. It's a monster.
I mean, you can lick it if you want to lick it.
Okay, first I need to knock it out. I would like to knock it out with something. What can I knock it out with?
You can just say you can knock it out with your whip or your dagger, the blunt end of your dagger or whatever.
Yes, I want to knock it out.
So because you rolled a 19 for, oh my God, 8 points of damage. All right, you take your dagger, Rainy, and you slam the blunt end of your dagger across its face for 8 damage. That is way more than enough HP to hit it, to knock it out. It drops to the ground. You wanted to knock it unconscious, or did you want to kill it?
Conscious. I want it to be fresh.
Okay, so you knock him unconscious, and it drops to the ground. Its eyes roll back into its head, and it is now out. It is passed out on the floor. Fish head curry. Oh my God. All right, so there's only 2 Sahagwin left. With that being the
did
case,
did the two Sagwins see it get knocked out and just us kind of looking at it like steak dinner?
the other 2 Sahagwins?
Yeah. Are
Yes.
they seeing this?
They are, but I won't describe what they're doing until it's their turn.
Okay.
All
Just
right.
want to make sure that they're
Do you,
they're
do,
in
you,
for it.
do you use your free action to lick it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So as you lick the scale of this unconscious Sahagwin, ugh, I'm shivering. Go ahead and make me a Constitution saving throw. Oh my God, you rolled 19. Okay. All right. So if you rolled low, you were gonna throw up, but
Oh.
because you rolled high, as you lick the unconscious Sahagwan. I don't think I've ever, in the 10 years of whatever I've been DMing, had a player lick an unconscious Sahagwan before. I guess there's a first for everything.
We're a whole crew of furries.
Yeah. I'm seeing that now. You got
sushi.
you lick the scaly Sahagwan, and it's somewhat slimy. It doesn't necessarily taste all that appeasing, but with a 19, you don't throw up, and it's salty. And for the most part, you get the idea that it might be good in a stew or something.
Sushi.
All right. With that, then, do you move anywhere, or do you stay there licking this undead, this unconscious Sahagwan?
Foodie. I'm gonna stay with the food.
Okay. I'm sorry, Des, it is now your turn.
Am I allowed to move before I?
Yes.
So I could go next to it? Okay.
Yep, you can move before or after an attack, or in the middle of an attack, yeah.
Okay, I move right up next to this Sahagwan.
Okay, that's close to the gnome. All right.
And I do quarter staff.
Oh, okay, you're attacking with the quarterstaff. Okay.
Yes.
So remember, you have advantage because of the spell that she casted. So you spin out your quarterstaff to smack it. Do you use it one hand or two hand?
I use two hands.
Okay, two hand will do more damage. Good choice. All right, you got a 22, so you do hit to roll your
Good night, bitch.
Oh my, 9 damage. Oh my god. So you go with your quarterstaff and you smack the side of it like a baseball bat hitting a baseball, and head is ringing from side to side. It almost falls unconscious. 9 damage is not enough to knock it out just yet. However, remember, you are a monk, Des. That was your action. You do have key points. If you spend one of your key points, you can do your flurry of blows attacks, which gives you 2 more attacks, unarmed strike attacks, if you want to do it.
Des grabs the fish people by the gills and looks straight into its eyes, nose to nose. Oh, you're still awake?
Oh,
you want to go for another?
With your flurry of blows, you're able to attack 2 more times using a key point. So go down, the 20 will hit, so do your damage. Oh my god, 9 points of damage. Okay, so you are able to knock out this Sahagwan. You grab it face to face, and its head is ringing as it looks at you. It begins to shake its head like, no. You can't understand it, but that's what you're thinking it's saying. And as you do so, it flies to the ground unconscious. And when it drops to the ground, the gnome looks over his shoulder because it's right next to him. And he looks over his shoulder at Des, and he goes, "Wow! That's some badass shit there, Shifter! I like it!"
Right back at you, Nomi.
All right.
Are you still alive?
The Sahagwan's knocked out.
Oh, I'll understand.
Okay. All right, Benno, it is your turn. There's only one last Sahagwan left that's conscious, and it is. I'll explain what it does if it doesn't go unconscious this round. You guys are
Quick, knock it out.
Knock it
More
out.
fresh food. More.
I'm gonna run up here beside the gnome. I'm gonna smack it sideways across the head with the back of my halberd, the doll, and
okay.
try and knock it out.
So you have advantage. Oh, you rolled high with both. So you'll take the 23. That will definitely hit. So roll your damage. All right. So you deal 5 slashing damage to the Sahagwan. It's not enough to knock it out, but you draw blood. Anything else?
Can I use my bonus action to trip it?
So tripping would technically be an attack, so you wouldn't be able to use your bonus action. You could use, if you have a spell, you could use a bonus action, unless you have, it'd have to be a bonus action spell, unless you specifically have a skill bonus action for being an artificer. But I don't think there's anything.
Use Sakoshi then to headbutt it in the kneecap.
Definitely can do that. So go ahead and attack with Sakoshi, the Nomi homie, and you have advantage. So 14. 14 will hit. So go ahead and do damage for an additional 5 force damage. So you hit it in the kneecap after you slash it. The Sahagwan almost falls to the side, holds onto its kneecap after Sakoshi just slams into it. It's now bleeding from its side where you cut it with your halberd. It's in pain. It's not unconscious yet, but it's hurting badly. Now it would be the enemy's turn. This is the only Sahagwan left. It's starting to freak out. It's beginning to realize that you are all the monsters and they are not. and it sees its allies knocked out. It sees fucking Rainy over there licking its unconscious ally. He's fucking freaked out. So he's going to turn around and begin running away to attempt to dive off the ship while he still can. You hurt him pretty badly, Benno. Sakoshi and Benno hit this Sahagwan for a total of 10 damage, so he's pretty hurt.
Sakoshi still has movement, right?
Yes.
Can I
so
use Sakoshi to cut it off?
Yeah, you can. But also, I was going to say, because it's running away from your threat range, you, Benno, and Sakoshi can use a reaction to attack it, what's called an attack of opportunity. Whenever you leave the threat range running away from an enemy, the enemy can use a reaction to attack for free. So you and Sakoshi could potentially hit it again if you want.
Alright, I'll do that instead.
Yeah, so I'd say go ahead and roll your halberd and Sakoshi's attack again to see if you hit. And you still have advantage. Sakoshi hits. Oh my god! So because you have advantage on your halberd, you rolled a natural 20 for a total of 24. That's a critical. Go ahead and do the damage for both attacks. Sakoshi does 7, and you do 13 points of damage with your halberd. I will let you, Benno, I'll let you describe how you kill or knock out this Sahagwan as it turns around to run away. What do you do?
Alright, Sakoshi's gonna headbutt the other kneecap as it's trying to run for the rails. And as it's falling down, I'm gonna bring the halberd up in an upswing and just crack it across the forehead with the back of the halberd, knocking it out.
So before the Sahagwan can get away, Benno and Sakoshi do additional damage, knocking it out. It drops to the ground unconscious. The Sahagwans that are on the ship, all 3 of them are now unconscious. The other 2 ran away. It was probably a good thing they ran away because you guys are all fucking monsters. And the orc, he looks at you all. Oh my god! Good work, guys! Lads and lasses, you've done your part. I think that's it for the Sahagwans. And the gnome, he looks up at Benno. Hey, that was pretty good, man. Not bad. Not as cool as me, but you did good, buddy. And with that, you are all left to your own devices. What do you all do after you knock out all of the Sahagwan?
We take the fish to the kitchen.
Oh my god.
We cook it alive.
All right, so I'm glad this worked the way it did because this battle was supposed to be a refresher that we had last time. So you guys did a wonderful job. Good stuff, guys. As the team heads back down below the deck, you take the 3 Sahagwan to the kitchen. Konme is awake at this point due to all of the loud combat that was taking place up above. And as you all go, I mean, if you all go down there, whoever wants to go down there, man. Whoever goes down with the Sahagwan, Konme, he's looking at all of you. Ah, those are Sahagwan. What are you doing with those things?
We're gonna eat them.
You're gonna do
Fresh.
what? Eat Sahagwan?
Some cooking.
They cannot taste good, I promise you that. They're monsters. Why would you want to eat them?
Well, have you ever tried it?
No, but they're monsters.
A bit of seasoning can go a long way.
I'll stick to my regular fish. And he lays back down. I'm assuming you healthy young lads and lasses were able to kill all the Sahagwan then.
Oh no. You could not be more wrong.
Oh, there's more?
No, there's only one, but it's not dead.
Go and do whatever you're gonna do. I'm going back to sleep. My ribs still hurt.
Okay, Benno, it's your time to shine. Do whatever you want with the food in terms of recipe.
Stir frying sounds good.
The orc.
Well, we are battering it.
So I'm gonna bleed out one of the Hogwans and use the shoulders to make beer battered fish and chips.
Oh my
I'm
god.
gonna use the left slide to quickly slice into sashimi. And I'm gonna set the head aside for curry tomorrow. First, I'm gonna slice and smoke for preserving.
Got a full meal.
So,
They're too tied up in the kitchen for later.
remember, Turako is the orc, the leader of the orc crew of the ship. And he sees you all coming down with these Sahagwans. He sees you going to the kitchen and he just looks at you. Oh my gosh. You're cooking the Sahagwans. I guess I've never attempted to eat Sahagwan before, but I mean, that's extra supplies that we have, some extra rations. Not bad of a choice.
Thank you so much
Not
for
bad,
helping.
As long as you make it spicy.
Thank you for helping us and protecting the ship. I really appreciate it. My men and I, we're not very much of fighters, and we're all still hurt from the soldiers of Koldar during the attack, so my men and I, you have our thanks.
I'll take my payment in fish.
Oh, very well. When we hit the island of Tagomi, I'll definitely be sure to give you guys a bit more payment for what you've done. But by all means, you have access to the kitchen. I'm going to go rest up a bit. We should reach Tagomi Islands the next couple of days. It's not much farther from where we're at. And Turako, he's going to walk away, and he's going to get into one of the hammocks to rest up while you guys do whatever you're doing. Benno, you're able to cook up these Sahagwins, and you do a mighty fine job doing so. And as you do so, the day quickly goes by. It is now nighttime. Night now hits, so you all begin to feel somewhat drowsy. I don't want to say drowsy, but somewhat tired from your travels. It's been a long day due to everything that's happened, and it's about 11 o'clock at night. The moon is out, shining down over you, and the rest of the trip so far has been peaceful. No other Sahagwins have attacked the boat, but it is now the opportunity I'm giving the opportunity for all of you to rest up for the night, depending on what you're doing. So what are you all doing at 11 o'clock p.m.? Are you all surrounding or sitting at a table, chatting with one another, or what's going on?
Should I say my plan? Does it matter if I say it now?
No, go ahead and say it.
Okay.
What's your plan?
So the fish that I was tying to the rope, at dawn, I want to go up and try fishing off the deck of the boat with it.
Oh, okay, yeah, you can definitely do that.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Does anyone else do anything? Or are you all kind of going to take a rest on the hammocks that are available?
Pour off the contents of my alchemy jug into another container so that I can refill by morning.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna head off to the bed as well.
Okay. Pio, Dez, and Rainy, are any of you three do anything, or are you going to try and get some shut-eye now that it's peaceful?
The top of the ship fine now?
Yeah. There's still... One of the crew members is still up above steering the ship. He's going to be taking over for the night. So it is available. It is not dangerous. You feel, if you're going up there... I was going to say, the gnome, during the time that you all quickly went down to cook the fish, it seemed like you all were in a hurry. I forgot to mention the gnome. I forgot he was even here. But he stays up above as you all go down. And he didn't want to go down below. He wanted to stay up on deck. So we'll go ahead and say you guys were also worried about the Sahagwins. You didn't really chat with the gnome. But let's backtrack really quick. Before you all went down, the gnome introduced himself. And we'll go ahead and roleplay that really quick. We'll just say this happened prior to what we just did. But after you guys kill the Sahagwin, you're about to go downstairs. The gnome looks at all of you. My goodness! Did you all see what I did? It is nice to meet you. I am... Biggie Smalley, what are your names?
Can we cook him too?
No! What are you talking about? Don't cook me. I'm not a Sahagwin. I'm a gnome.
You had your fill, she.
I had what?
She had your fill.
You're not cooking me. Stay away from me. He points over at she. You stay away from me.
I read it in a book once. Gnomes have a particular spiciness in their skin.
Well, you know what? That's not true. Whatever books you're reading, the author's crazy.
Not true? Then give me a lick.
No! Why would I do that?
This is starting to turn into a licking session.
The listeners are probably thinking, what the fuck right about now?
Hey, no. What was your name again?
I'm Biggie Smalley. What's your name?
As I put my hands down to my knees and bend towards get to his height. My name is Dez. Where are you from?
Pleasure to meet you, Dez. I'm actually from long ways from here. I'm from a place called Tirister. It's another continent.
Why the hell are you in a barrel?
Well, I traveled all the way to Ashai because I wanted to visit Aloria. I heard that the dwarves there at Tuda Mountains were really well known for some of their artificery stuff. So I came all the way here to do a quick visit. But when I got here to Dolrin, we were attacked by soldiers, and I'm not a fighter, so I hid in a barrel. It was the best thing I could do. And then I guess one of you picked it up. He points over at Benno. It was you that picked me up, wasn't it? You kicked me down the stairs. That's mean.
Think you can handle it? He's better. And I'm gonna pour him off a pint of beer from my alchemy jar. Tell him he's done a good job.
Oh, is that beer?
Only the finest.
Oh my goodness, don't mind if I do. He takes the jar with both of his hands and he begins to gulp it down. Whack, whack, whack. Oh, this is delicious. Anyways, what are you all doing here? Were you all trying to flee too? Or are you Koldarians as well?
Well, if we were Koldarians, I don't know. I doubt we'd be here right now. I think we'd be back over at town where we were before.
I guess that's true. You're not wearing any of the armor that they were wearing either. You know, I really don't know what the Koldarians are or who they are. I don't know much about the continent of Ashai. But all I knew was I had to get the heck out of there, and I had to hide. Where are we going now?
I have no idea. That troll over there was actually just gonna bring us. We got attacked over at the port where I was working, and we all just happened to be there. And we found each other, and then we got into the ship where we found you.
Ah, so you have no idea where you're going?
Nope.
The winds say we're heading to Togami Isle.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I know where that place is. That's an island off of the Iwatsuni Isles. We passed it to get to Aloria. I remember seeing it. I never stopped there. I know where we're going. It should be fine, I think. It's away from these crazy Koldarians. Well, you know, if that's the case. Again, I'm Biggie Smalley. Pleasure to meet you. And I am a traveler with exquisite tastes, and I like to learn new things, especially when it comes to magics and stuff. Y'all saw me in battle, right? Those things were not nothing against me. My muscles and my magic were too good.
You
Oh,
were
heck
almost
yeah.
eaten. It's a good thing we preserved you.
What do you mean, preserve? Why do
Like
you always
food.
Why do you always talk like that? You're weird.
I'm not
He's
weird, I'm
joking.
hungry.
I'm not food, mister. Go down below and cook the damn Sahagwan that you just killed. I'll stay up here.
You're not gonna join us, Mr. Biggie Smalls? Big.
I'm Biggie Smalley. Get it right.
Okay, yeah, and I'm Foxy Poxy. Sure.
All right, Foxy Poxy. Well, I'll be up here while you go and do whatever you're gonna do. I actually have my own food on me. I have some nice rations. And he digs into one of his pouches on his belt, and he pulls out some crackers and some cheeses. Look, I have crackers and cheese.
Hey, I'll trade you my sandwich for some of those.
What kind of sandwich?
Cheese and ham sandwich.
No, not worth it. No, thank you.
Mm,
All right, sit yourself.
Okay.
Well, y'all have fun down there cooking the weird Sahagwans. I want to stay up here.
All right, bask in your glory, little man.
All right, so we'll say you had that conversation, and then you guys went downstairs, did what you did downstairs, and then Rainey came back up. You were coming back up, right, Rainey?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you come back up, it's 11 p.m. Again, you feel the breeze blowing up against your face. You see Biggie Smalley. He's lying down somewhat close to where the steering wheel is, up against one of the staircases, and he's trying to relax. But he doesn't seem to notice you come up the stairs. What are you doing?
I'm kind of thinking back to everything that's kind of happened so far, and relieved to see my old friend, and not necessarily friends right now, but these gangle of weirdos that I stumbled upon, who are totally down for his chaotic energy. He's just oddly satisfied
Okay.
with how things have gone with them all. He's still kind of like, should I trust them as much as I do with my friend or not? But he's not against them either, and just kind of thinking to himself and...
Okay. As you are doing so up above, since it's only you, one of the orcs steering the boat, and Biggie Smalley, as you're in your own thoughts, the item that we mentioned last time, the Devil's Dowry, last session after you did battle with the Koldarians, it began to glow somewhat, and it began to vibrate, and you heard a voice, if you remember. And this time, now that you're alone, the Devil's Dowry begins to violently rumble again up against your body. And it begins to have this dim, like, red glow to it. It keeps dimming on and off, and you feel it vibrate. And as it does so, you hear the same voice that you heard last time when it did this. And as it does so, this voice speaks out to you in your mind.
It is I, Sezamir. You and your friends have done great. I require more of you to do this bidding. Free me from my shackles, and I shall provide you all of the power necessary to avoid the wild cards.
And as it says this, Rainy, your mind, as it's speaking to you, it pulls you away from reality somewhat. You're still awake, you're still conscious, but instead of seeing physically what's in front of you, you don't see the ocean anymore. What you're now seeing is pure darkness, and there are these thick silver bars that are basically in a form of a cell, and inside of this cell, there is this silhouette. You can't tell what it is. It's just a silhouette of it looks like a humanoid of some kind. And attached to the silhouette, you can see these silver golden chains wrapped up all around what looks like the silhouette's arms and legs. But the voice that you're hearing is coming from the silhouette. And again, it looks at you. And as it looks at you, the only thing you can see from the silhouette are these bright red eyes staring at you through this darkness from inside the silver cage. And again, it mentions,
continue what you're doing, and you shall free me from my shackles. The damned Koldarians will pay for what they've done to me. However, I know much about you, Rainy, and your old crew, the Wild Cards. You run away from them in fear of them finding you. Free me from my shackles, and you shall have the power to even destroy every single one of the wild cards. And that mouse shifter you call Des, let her know that I know of her past as well. Her crew, Billy O.T., all live. However, they too are hidden as prisoners in Ashai. If she continues down this path and ventures with you, you shall earn their freedom as well. As far as the one known as Benno, he has a family in the Tura Mountains. They are known as the Valentin tribe, dwarves that are artificers. Benno worries for his family. I can sense it. If you free me, I shall allow Benno the power to see his family as well. Now the other two, Pio and she, they will be perfect companions on the challenges on this upcoming adventure of yours. Keep them around you at all times. They will prove their usefulness.
and as he says this, all of a sudden the silhouette vanishes and you just see the ocean again. And if you're looking around, Rainy, kind of confused at what just happened, this has never happened to you before. As you're looking around, you can see Biggie Smalley. He is now lying on his side. He's got a pinky in his nose, picking at his nose. And he slowly looks over at you because he sees that you look somewhat confused and dazed. What the hell's wrong with you? You look like you've seen a ghost.
What? I'm not confused. I was just thinking because I'm a brave captain. You wouldn't understand. You're just a noob.
Wow! That's rude! That is rude! You know what? I was just trying to see if you were okay, but never mind!
And he turns around, he begins to pick at his right ear with his other pinky. You just feel the breeze, the wind now, and the waves in the distance. You do not hear this voice any longer. You do not see this silhouette. It all happens all too suddenly, Rainy, so it throws you off for sure. After listening to that, though, do you do anything else before I move on to the rest of the crew?
Guess I'll go back and actually no, I'll stay up on the ship and think about the devil's offer that I got and figure out a way to think about telling Des without sounding like a complete lunatic. Because if I tell her all of this, like, hey, I just saw this cool thing in front of me while I was just dozing off on the ship edge. Some creepy god just talked to me, and thinking over all of it, Captain feels like, no, I can't do that. She's gonna think I'm nuts, and she's supposed to be the nutty one, not me.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and move to the other two that are still awake that we haven't gotten to yet. Pio, you see Benno, he goes to the hammock to get some rest. It's you and Des that are still awake at this time. Pio, what are you doing? It's 11 o'clock at night, and it's peaceful and quiet.
I think Pio will observe a bit and see there are not enough hammocks for necessarily everyone, since Captain's still up there and, that's here and was resting. I think I'll just make a cozy I'll just sleep under the table, just
okay.
curl up, rest up.
You can do that.
Yeah.
All right, so you crawl under one of the tables and you just get a little cozy. And after that, then you're able to fall asleep. And I'm going to say everyone's going to get a good night's rest for the most part. So you don't have to regain HP. You're all still full HP. But the spell slots are going to all return to everybody. So you all gain your spells back. But Des, what are you doing? You're the last one. So I want to get to you. What is your character doing?
My character has a big plate of fish bones right in front of her. She's sitting on her chair, and it's kind of like on two legs, standing still, with its back kind of leaning towards. It's just leaning back.
Okay.
And Des goes,
oh my god.
The chair starts falling, and then she gets awoken, and she looks around that everyone's asleep, and she was just dreaming a bad dream. She doesn't really remember what it is, but she just says, whatever, and goes back to sleep.
So as you go to sleep, Des, I'm going to go ahead and say this as well. While you're asleep, you begin to dream, and in your dream, the vision, I'm going to describe the exact same thing that Rainie saw in his mind, you see in your dreams. Again, you see this pure darkness with these silver bars that form a cage, and you see the same silhouette that Rainie saw in his mind. However, the voice speaks out to you this time, Des, and as it does so, it just you can't really speak back to it. When you try to talk back to it in your dream, it doesn't necessarily respond to you in any way. It just keeps talking. What you do hear from this voice:
Mouse shifter, I am Sezamir. I am a great, powerful one that has been locked away by the Koldarians of Ashai. Continue down this adventure with Rainie and the rest of your allies, and I shall lead you to your old crew, Billy O.T. I hear one of the crew members, I believe it was the one with a okay, I don't want to say Scottish accent because Scottish doesn't exist in the world of reverence, but the one with the Scottish accent I know you care for, and he yet lives, as well as the rest of your crew. Continue following this adventure. Help free me from these shackles, and you will be reunited with your old crew yet again. I know you have sailed here far from Tirasta. Ashai, you do not belong here. You belong back home on the land of Tirasta with the Billy O.T. Do this, and you shall gain the power to find your crew.
And after he says this, Sezamir's voice fades away, and your dream now goes back to you eating whatever is your favorite food. And at that point, with that being the last character for the night, we're going to go ahead and say that everyone, the night speeds by, and the rest of you are all able to get a decent night's rest. The only two that might seem somewhat troubled with sleeping, I would say, would be Des and Rainie after the visions they both had. However, Des is already asleep, and after this dream that she has, it takes place within minutes. So for the most part, she's able to
get some decent sleep. But when she wakes up, she might question that dream. She remembers it vividly. The only one that might have a hard time sleeping would be Rainy at this point. But everyone has full HP. Everyone's spells are back. And this is where we're going to end this episode of Taverns and Caverns Side Stories. Thanks, everyone. This is HaphazardDM. You can find me on Twitter at HaphazardDM or on Twitch at HaphazardDM. Thank you.
I'm Des, and I played the Mouse Shifter Monk. I am also a mouse VTuber on Twitch. Right now, I'm currently just using Twitch. You can find me at Desporous, Desporous. It's very hard to spell, but I post all my socials there, but I'm currently just using Twitch.
Hello, I played the captain. I promise he's not as mean as it sounds. But yeah, I played the shifty fox rogue. I also do Twitch. My handle is just the same, RainieDew, and I also have Instagram and Twitter, but I'm most active on my Discord server and Twitch. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I'm Slyvnash, same on Twitter, and I've been She.
I'm not. I've been Benno the Bear. I occasionally show up on Rainie's channel doing collabs. It's fun.
Hi, I'm Pikanyuu. You can pronounce it either way. I play as Pio, your shifter cleric cat, who burns everything, I guess. I do have social Instagram, Twitter, they're both by Palette PALLETE_YUU. I'd please go check out Haphazard and Desporous and RainieDew. They're all great people. It's like Picha Collarbone.
All right, well, thank you, Pecan. Those are all of our lovely players that played with us tonight. And again, listeners, please remember that they were all brand new to this D&D demo, and they all did such a wonderful job. Please, for everyone here that gave a shout out to their social medias or their channels on Twitches, please check them all out. They're all lovely, wonderful people, and a lot of them are amazing artists, believe it or not. They all made lovely art of their own characters. Definitely go to their channels to check out the artwork that they created. Again, thank you, everyone. I really appreciate you all playing D&D with me tonight. With that, we'll go ahead and say goodbye here. Take care, everyone.